He's got something kind of... a key figure in the States. He plays a lot of his cricket in Seattle, in the Seattle area. And he's applied his bowling.
Likes up there, you see it with the ball in hand. It's been a story of Harmeet Singh's been effective and economical. And you have the 1 wicket from Jesse Singh. But you just feel that Nepal have gotten used to every bowler and been able to take them on.
I also just see in that graphic, Madank Patel
just continues to only want to use 5 bowlers. So changing the field of Karsh Shrivastava, taken out of long on and put into cover where he was so good in his first ODI. Part of the reason for that is Harmeet Singh wanted the taller man like Galkvik at long on. All these little small, less than 1%ers can matter. Aaron Jones's position is an interesting one, isn't it? He's in it for a slip, but it's very deep. And it's quite wide. Is the ball going to carry there?
I don't reckon it is. Harmeet Singh's not flying it through. It's not pace on. Yeah, they're playing with heavy hands, trying to push the ball, but I reckon he can afford to take a 1 step forward. I like the width in which he's at, but it's just touch too deep.
And Harmeet Singh strikes. Bertel loves that sweep shot. But if he misses on that line, the bowler is going to hit. And it's the off-stump rocked back. We said Nepal needed to keep Harmeet Singh out of the wickets. They haven't been able to do that. As Bertel falls for 29. It's a risky stroke, isn't it? And Harmeet Singh right on the money.
Remarkably, only his 8th ODI wicket. And this is 10th inning, but you just take a look at the shot selection here. It's just a poor shot, you reckon. You don't need to try to force the sweep, force the scoring option to Harmeet Singh. We spoke about it. You have the time. Take him and just play him out. Score off everyone else. Kushal Patel gets a start, 29 off of 51, but won't be able to cash in. That's the biggest thing. You can't let Harmeet Singh get in, and once you've started to score, you have to be able to cash in on it.
Kushal Malla to the crease at number 4. Not the captain, Rohit Paudel yet. Big day for this young man, isn't it? He's got lots of little scores of late, but nothing too substantial outside of that 1 knock in the T20s. He's had very high career strike rates early in his career, and his game's just evolving a touch, you sense. Clearly a tactical choice here to get the left-hand, right-hand combination in, particularly with the left-arm spinners bowling.
Yeah, and you expect them to kind of bowl in tandem here with Nash Kenjige at one end of the ground and Harmeet Singh from this end. So just to try to throw off line and length, and Kushal Malla can take the attack on. But again, like you said, the way he's added to the game, just to be able to stick in, hold himself together, and then push 1s and 2s, I think will be very important, especially to Harmeet Singh. I think that tactical plan has been to take on Kenjige, but Singh you don't want to give away.
Harmeet Singh included a big wicket, 19 bowled, 79 for 2.
New man with the ball. And we saw him with the bat a lot yesterday, or 2 days ago, but
It's Utkar Srivastava who's going to come in and bowl his off spinners, and it's part of the reason why he's in the side. He hasn't bowled in international cricket yet, but he bowled very consistently as a part of the USA Under-19 team. Took wickets in the Under-19 World Cup. And it's part of his game that he's continued to adapt and bring in. Be interesting starting off to the right-hander.
Yeah, just the second over we've seen from a sixth bowler or more on this entire homestand of 7 games that they've played. So it shows that Monak Patel probably has reviewed the match the other day and thought that 6 overs of 7 from one end for Jesse Singh was far too much, and really kind of was a bit of a hospital pass for him. So if he can get in even 3 or 4 cheap overs, let alone pick up a surprise wicket, it's just it's a win-win. That's why you use a sixth bowler in ODI cricket. It's to give you that freedom and flexibility of bowling options towards the third and final power play. Bowled quite a bit, you were saying, down at the 19s World Cup.
Yeah, he did. And he bowled all the way in really the pathway events to get to that Under-19 World Cup as well. In the games leading up to that, and to make that Under-19 team, he bowled in every single game. Really was thought of as an all-rounder in that team, and that's why he was able to slide in a bat at number 6. And in those 8 matches that he played, he bowled in 7 innings, took 6 wickets at an economy rate 3.07, so it wasn't 50 over cricket. But again, that's the best of the youth crop the USA had to offer. So this is a skill set that he's continued to work on. And talking to him, it's something that he is very aware of that he has, and he's very aware that it just enhances him as a cricketer. He doesn't want to be a one-facet guy. So it's always good to just have that extra skill. You think about Rohit Paudel, Deepinder Singh Airi, just having those couple of extra skills and utilities that can be called upon. Even Kushamala, more known for what he does with the bat, but his left arm spin today, those 6 overs, very vital. Came down and were very economical to pick the bowlers today. And you can see nothing fancy from Srivastava, just line and length, and just gives up the 3 runs from his first over in ODI international cricket. This one just getting the bat down was Kushamala. Actually, the one just straightened up quite a bit.
His balls hugely. Spin to win, it feels like, all of a sudden. You can understand why the 6th use of this pitch in terms of number of innings, 3rd game day. Now for me, you can see the attempt from Kushal Patel to get the scoreboard going. Beautifully bowled, wider the crease, dips and turns, very hard to play that. Good glove work too from Jahangir. Patel's attempt to get the scoreboard going was to go to the sweep. Sa and Mala need to find a way to prevent the number of dots that are being bowled all of a sudden, as they just stack up, and also find the occasional boundary. Right now there's no signs of either of those things happening.
And this is why giving your wicket to Harmeet Singh in the middle of his spell is such a big deal. Because you know things are going to be tight and consistent. The runs are going to be hard to come by. And now you're trying to get Kushamala into the game, trying to let him feel himself out, whilst the scoreboard pressure is starting to mount. That's why Kushal Patel couldn't have afforded to play that sweep.
Stack up these dots. Well, we said Harmeet Singh would be a big factor. He's bowled 4 overs here, the best part of. He's got 1 for 4. It's a maiden. Nepal going nowhere. USA getting on top in this second session. 82 for 2.
Now it almost makes this over Srivastava one you have to score off of, or at least find a boundary or two just to ease some of that pressure. Get the single straight away, and again, the big thing is you just got to find a way to continue to rotate. And if you're not going to score off Harmeet Singh, which is fine, you're not going to be really able to. Don't give him the wickets, but be able to find runs elsewhere. You can't let Srivastava go out and bowl an over worth 3 runs. It's not a winning formula. You got to be able to consistently do this, turn runs off every delivery, slip in. Now it has to be the odd boundary pretty consistently. Srivastava like the matchup of the left-hander. For Kushal Malla, he's just got to stay patient. And that hard-hitting background can't affect him right now. It's well bowled from Srivastava. He's got a couple of different deliveries. He's got a couple that'll come back in, the arm ball. You like the matchup again with the left-hander. Getting the ball to turn away, but then the odd one to slip back through. Good sharp stuff. Again, he's not trying to reinvent the wheel. I think that's the biggest thing from Srivastava. He's just gone right outside the off stump and bowled every delivery there and dared Malla to go different.
How many times did we say it in the first innings? Do the basics right. Just a day that it really, in the most helpful of conditions, it completely eluded Nepal's bowlers. With the occasional exception, but probably 40 of the 50 overs delivered, they just didn't do even a semblance of the basics right. And that's why they're behind the 8 ball now. 7 runs required per over. Bit of innovation. There's 2 men there on the reverse sweep, so I'm not sure that a conventional sweep wouldn't have been a better option, hitting with the spin. 22 bowled, 85 for 2. Nepal in trouble. They have to do something better here, don't they, Nepal, just to find a way into this contest. I don't mind Malla starting slowly because he's got such power, and I can tell you for a fact, I'm not in the team hotel on this trip, but in the last trip in Canada I was getting down to lift my paltry 5 kilogram weights and do a little run on the treadmill. Malla was pounding out big numbers. He himself and Karen KC, look at the size of Kushal Malla. Monster. They're the 2 in the team that are probably stronger than anyone, and it's no surprise, alongside Dipender Singh Hari, as Russell Warren shows why he used to be a keeper at Northants. Good hands, as they're the biggest 6 hitters. So I don't mind him, even if he just, let's say, gets to 10 off 20 or 10 off 25. He catches up so quickly. But it's about himself given a chance to do what he's been sent in to do, which is to take down the left-arm spinners. Now, long on is in place, but there's nobody in between. Long on and deep mid-wicket in the outside the circle. So there's a mid-wicket in the circle, but he's about 15 yards from the bat. So you'd imagine that hitting with the spin, and either there or straight down the ground, where there's probably 40 yards between long off and long on, but it might be 60 yards between mid-wicket and long on. And that's got to be one of the real boundary options for Malla. And you'll have to take some risk. It's just a case of when you start to take that risk. I'm not suggesting now, maybe bat for 3 or 4 or 5 more overs, but then 1 boundary, 2 boundaries, 3 boundaries starts to change the game. So it's about building that innings, a little bit like we said, Sandeep Lamachani earning his way into his spell. Kushal Malla's got to earn his way into his innings by getting the pace of the wicket. isn't a huge amount of turn. It's not sharp turn anyway, just a bit there for the spinners. Just got to pick the right length and go after, might be Kenjige as opposed to Harmeet Singh when Kenjige comes back in. 23 bowled, another tight over from Harmeet Singh. 89 for 2. How do you assess the kind of first, I think after this Netherlands series, we're going to have close to a third of the games played for all the teams. How do you assess the kind of the first year of the second edition of ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2?
Well, Canada got off to the best start of any team. They used their early advantage to their credit. USA probably had the best overall year, just all formats, and
They were able to take advantage of that momentum headed into the ODIs. I think for Nepal, for them to really get back into that top 4 conversation, they're going to have to put on some wins. Again, this win today against the USA, if we play Monday against Scotland, and then really ramp them up because they're struggling in that bottom 3, and Oman are starting to pile on some wins. The UAE still struggling there. That's the one godsend, but bigger than maybe even if you don't make the top 4, you keep yourself out of the top 2, and Nepal are too good of a side to lose the ODI status if they just keep down this trend. Long way to go. Not saying that they will. I think similar to Scotland, they're starting to find a little bit more of their momentum headed into that top 4. So I think the middle is very jam-packed. I think the top 4 will end up being jam-packed. I think you'll have 1 probably all by themselves, and then 2, 3, 4 will be between probably 5 of the teams on the list fighting for those 3 spots, and we'll see which 3 teams those are.
Yeah, I think for UAE as well, they've got to kind of pretty quickly find a way to not become the Papua New Guinea of this second cycle. They've had a change of captain. Rahul Chopra's been given the armband. I think many expected that. I was reading Paul Radley's piece, that fine writer that he is for the national newspaper in the UAE, about their upcoming tour, and wondering where is it going wrong for UAE's 50 over cricket. There's so much going for them in the shorter formats. And they're 16th in the world in the T20I standings, but actually if you look at the ODI rankings, they're 20th and bottom, and they're probably deservedly so 20th and bottom. Over cricket. There's so many short formats. Just one more look at the points table here. So they've got to find a way to not be cut a gulf at the bottom, but equally Nepal have to find a way to not be stuck in the bottom 2 with them. So that's why these 2 games, I know we're over 2 years out from the end of this league, but Nepal, if they lost these 2 games, today and Monday, if we can play Monday, and then if UAE had another bad tour, which, if you look at the first game, bowled out for 140, losing to an Oman side that we barely even recognised. Well, ODI status is on the line, funding is on the line, so much is on the line in this league. Cut away for 4. Little bit lucky Kushal Malla here, but he does get his first boundary. It was at a catchable height, but it went right between the 2 men. Was this good placement, or was this a bit of luck?
I think a little bit of both. I think he's definitely trying to play it behind point, but it's definitely gone more up pitch than he would have liked to. And just bisected those fielders. He'll take it here, Nepal. Need any bit of runs you can get, especially because Srivastava wasn't able to bowl, and he's only given up the 8 runs in his 4 overs. You can't allow Utkarsh Srivastava to come in for the first time and do that.
Yeah, that's the maturation in Mala's game that, being honest, I don't think he had 2 or 3 years ago. Previously, he'd have hit a boundary like that and he'd have tried to pump the next one for 6. This is the byproduct of a lot of work with some exceptional coaches, with Monty Desai, with Jagat Tamat, who's here, and with Pupu Dasanayak, the former Nepal head coach who's back here as a team mentor. They have definitely worked on that. They've clearly worked on that boundary. Get a single. He's dead ball to signal. Daniel Sa not ready. He's such a talent. I know some fans have been very harsh on him and said, why is he in the team? But he's that good, potentially. You want to give him every opportunity. That's probably why he was promoted up the order. You've seen some of the shots he's hit and can hit. Not many batters in the world can do that. He hit one last summer in the Cricket World Cup qualifier. That was against Zimbabwe at the HSC. A few boos ring around the ground. No idea what's going on there. The HSC's main grandstand, I think it's about 35 rows high. It's massive. Mala hit one. I don't think I was actually on air. I think I was in the green room with Ian Bishop at the time. He hit one up to about the 30th row of that 35th. The two of us were talking at the time, but as soon as the ball was hit, it echoed around that wonderful venue. And Ian Bishop goes, who's this boy who's just hit that? And I said, well, Kushal Mala, mate, I think I said he's a freak or a phenom, and he's a bit of both. He's an X factor unlike many young cricketers I've seen. I'm not saying he's a finished article, he's not. But I love the faith that Monty Desai is showing. Saw it in the T20s. And we might just do it again. Get to the end of the 25th. It's 99 for 2. Halfway stage of the chase. They're not quite halfway there. They're not even more than a third of the way there, really. So they need to pick it up. Be a change of bowling. Now, this for me is a sign that Manik Patel doesn't want to have to bowl Jesse Singh too much at the death, so he's going to go to him now. Do Nepal try to shift gears here and start to attack Jesse Singh?
You gotta attack somebody, and if Jesse Singh is slightly wayward, whether that's due to a slight niggle or just lack of rhythm, you have to take advantage. And Anil Sa, for me, who was 40 off of 56, has since in the next almost 20 deliveries has piled up 8 runs. He's got to shift into the next gear, and Jesse Singh's the bowler to do it against.
It's 100 up. And I think when the fans see the big screen, they'll probably start to cheer. Look at that. Even converting some local fans, aren't they? She is Floyd. She is does the ground announcing here, doesn't she, for the MLC?
She did. She was also here for the World Cup, the MC for that.
Yes.
Yeah, she was all over.
Taken in by the Nepal fans a bit, enjoying the...
Well, she was surrounded by them when Nepal played here for sure. So I think she got her jersey and she converted into a Nepal fan. Why not? There's worse teams to be rooting for around the world.
Too right. Particularly, I suppose, if you think of all the Texas Nepali community, the number of them here. It's a shame. We want 6. I think it might be coming from the crowd, or either we want 6 or we want Singh. Maybe a bit of both from the Nepal fans. Interesting to see Shrivastava take it off. Would you kept him going?
I reckon you probably could have snuck one more in there, just because, again, the spin is working. These two haven't found any real rhythm. I just think you're just trying to keep Jesse Singh out of the death for as long a period of time as you can. You probably will have to bowl a little bit, but you don't want him bowling majority in that last 10 and headed into 26th over. I think one of them also felt I'd probably sneak in an over of Jesse Singh if he's not feeling 100%, while these two are still low on rhythm. I can sneak him in now.
Great story, Anil Sa. First debuted in international cricket over 6 years ago. Played a couple of the games against Kenya as part of the old World Cricket League structure in February 2018, and then drifted miles out of contention after a handful of appearances, and really don't think many thought that he was going to get back and get another chance, but then a prolific domestic season this year. It's guided him back into national team colours, and he gets to another 50. Since he's returned, that's now his 5th 50-plus score. It's his 4th ODI half-century to go alongside that 100. He's averaging just a tick over 30. Strike rate pretty good career-wise, over 90. Just 60 today. He'll need to improve that. But if he doubles that 50 up, man, Nepal might be in with a real chance.
Yeah, he's got to get that strike rate up, but he's got it. I think more importantly for Nepal, he sticks it, and I think he's understood that. It's why he's changed the gears in the last 21 deliveries. He's only scored the 10 runs, but more importantly, he's in the middle. And it's going to take double this to get Nepal over the line. They're going to have to find one bat to stick through with the power of Mala, with Gulshan Ja. You have plenty of quick run scorers. You need one anchor, and I think Anil Sa is going to be that anchor.
Yeah, you don't need to catch up by hitting sixes from this ball, but if you could turn that 100 into, let's say 100 not out off 127, you scored a run of ball from here.
Yeah,
that's a great knock. And actually, with all that Gulshan Ja to come up the order, Depender Singh Airi, the 6-hitting potential, then it becomes an anchoring match-winning knock in its own way. He's done all the hard work, he got through the tough stuff early when it was very difficult, and Netravalkar's first 4 overs were so good. So well played, Anil Sa. Can you double it up now? And can Kushal Malla start to show his power hitting? Because he's only going at a strike rate of 50 at the moment. Jesse Singh, well, you got to give him credit for his toughness, trying to gut it out, but it doesn't look great. I don't know.
That's what's going to have to happen as the 26 comes to an end, 102 for 2. And it's very smart for Manan Qatar to get his over
back in here, because now you can assess this and say, okay, he can bowl, or it's he might have one more in him, or just hold him out. He's done for the tour. Let's just go Utkarsh from one end. We have Nash, we have Harmeet. We'll let Shadley Van Skalkvik and Sarvnet Valkar bowl in tandem at the death. And then if you need an extra bowler, you can then go Sanjay Krishnamurti as your extra spinner.
Now, this is a fascinating move from Manan Patel. He's taking Harmeet Singh off, not because he's not bowling well, quite to the contrary, because he wants to preserve 4 of his overs. Doesn't want to bowl his kind of star bowler today in these conditions out. So what he's going to do, he's going to go to Kenjigate, keep the left arm spin from this end, and I would suspect we're going to see Kushal Malla go at Kenjigate here. I think it might even be this over. I don't think it's going to take long. He's a different kind of bowler to Harmeet Singh. Malla, it's a matter of time, isn't it? There's a ticking time bomb out there. Pyrotechnics might be coming.
Yeah, it just felt like one of these two were going to have to go after him, whether it's going to be Sa or Malla. And Malla again has so much power. If he gets the ball turning back into him, Nash has to be very careful with his length here. Don't want to be too wide or too straight.
You can see there, he's basically just bowled that into the surface as quick as he could. He doesn't want to toss it up. He knows if he tosses it up, most likely the end result is the Chinese lantern display at the racecourse end of the ground is having some damage done to it. It shows the amount of scouting these days that's done on players. In years gone by, to walk to the crease, he'd have got 3 floated up to start with, he'd have hit 3 6s. Now they know about his power. Too sure about this field. And for the right-hander, just gives a single into the leg side, really, doesn't it? But look at Malla, almost flexing his bicep, saying, Nosh, I'm coming after you.
Again, you just expect it to be short and quick, darted in, so Malla might just try to get creative, whether it is to move a little bit away from his stumps, give himself room to play over cover on the offside, or shuffle all the way across, looking to almost pull.
Again, Kenjige goes into the surface. He's not going to get much full, is he, Malla, because they know what he's trying to do. He's got to start. I've heard him speak about how he feels like he needs to count to 10 or 15 in his innings, just in terms of the number of balls, just to get in. Anil Shah goes for the slog sweep, doesn't get it. Jesse Singh nestles underneath it and holds on. Big moment in the game. Anil Shah gets to 50, gives it away. Credit to Kenjige, absolutely, but it's a tame dismissal. Just as Nepal trying to get moving, trying to go through the gears, they lose their third.
Well, you knew one of the two of them, Mala or Shah, were going to take on Kenjige. You just didn't think the matchup was for Shah to do it. He had to be the anchor. And he's just hit it straight up into the air, trying to play that sweep that was working so successfully off the bat of Kushal Bertel earlier in the innings. But again, he's just miscued it straight up. Jesse Singh's done really well to get into a good position, take the catch, much to the delight of the American fan right behind him, who's up straight away. Shah got to 50, but just threw it away. 52 off 80, and that strike right now looks a bit worse because he wasn't able to cash in on all the work he was able to do. Again, he was 40 off 56. It took him 21 deliveries to score the next 10 runs, and then he threw it away 2 runs later.
Rohit Paudel to the crease, captain of Nepal. Well, he's the man with the highest score of this cycle for Nepal. That was the 96 in a losing effort against USA. That was in the first inning. It's going to be very different in the chase, but he may well need the America fans, the flags flying high now. Very different to scoring 90 like that in a chase. If he does, if he's there with 90 not out in the last over, you think it would be in a winning effort. And he's a fine player, maybe Nepal's best player. And this is probably the most packed part of the crowd.
Shot right in front of the players' tunnel as well.
What's in there? The big gulps.
They stopped
Bit of
off
your
by the gas station.
Your soda of choice?
I don't drink soda, Lenny.
What?
I don't drink soda. So it's actually a funny story. I was 7 years old when someone told me caffeine stunts growth.
Say that once more.
I was 7 years old. Someone told me caffeine stunts growth, and I decided.
What height are you?
I'm now 6'1", so it's worked a little bit.
You're taller than me. I don't think you are.
I don't
Very
think
similar.
Very similar.
I'm 6'1.5" so
I think somewhere there.
you're in the mix. Well, it hasn't stunted your growth. Jesse Singh to continue. Nepal in trouble again. They're going to need something special from their middle order. Specifically these two, and maybe then Jan, Dipender Singh Ari to come in. Remember Arif Sheikh, of course, the player of the match from the last game. He's still two to come. So whoever told you that is really, well, he's saved your dentist a lot of money.
Yeah, hasn't he? Yeah, I got rid of the caffeine and the sugar, so it's worked out. It's worked out quite nice. It doesn't take a bit of guessing though to pick your favorite soda out of the bunch. I think there's one in the fridge next door, isn't there?
Oh, it's got my name on it. It's one of the title ICC sponsors, so I can say it. Coca-Cola. Definitely one of my vices in life. We all have some. I do adore a Coke, and certainly the more I get to know about you, I mean, I know I've known you a long time. You are so clean. You must have some shortcomings or some shortfalls.
I'm sure
you're
there
too
is.
perfect.
I'm sure if you ask my parents, there's something in there as well.
you must never tidy your room, or you must never do the
To be
dishes.
fair, my room is a little bit of a mess. That is fair. That is fair.
Well, my mother, I know I shared this with you. I didn't share it on air, but my mother wants to adopt you from listening in. She's been watching on back home. Parents always watch all the coverage back in Ireland, particularly the Nepal games. Adopted another 2 Nepal fans. A little bit like she is Floyd. We saw her earlier. There is the new USA Cricket CEO. That's Mr. Jonathan Atkinson there. Or Atkinson on the left. I'm not sure who he's with. He'll have been probably a little bit nervous having lost the toss this morning. I think he flew in early today, and probably pretty pleased with his team's efforts at the moment. There he is, just seeing himself on the big screen. A big good afternoon to you, sir. Wishing you every success in your new role. As USA Cricket look to capitalise upon the success of that World Cup. Both national teams, well, really up until this tour, were going really well, weren't they? The women's team, historic wins down in Zimbabwe. I know that filled the community with great joy the first ever time they beat full member nation. Historic series win over Bangladesh for the men, 4-0 over Canada, the Super 8 run in the World Cup, all the brilliance of that Namibia tour. It just feels as though it's, obviously Stuart Moore's been dismissed in this time. He's moved on now. In the middle of this series, the 3-0 defeat in the T20s, and then just the one win in the ODIs. It feels like for all of those reasons, this game's it's as important for USA as it is for Nepal.
It's a momentum thing. You don't want to head into 2025 having all those kind of negatives around the sweep in the T20 series, and then only pick up one win
on home soil.
On home soil. That's going to be the part that's really going to stick home. So a second win on home soil just gives you that little bit of momentum, that you breathe a little bit, saying, okay, things are all right. It's not great, but we can build into the right steps.
And then I suppose from I know he's only interim head coach for the moment.
Vincent Vinay Kumar.
Yeah, Vincent Vinay Kumar, the former Ranji Trophy player from India. And then we see the assistant coach come in, Usman Rafiq, who was playing down in Zimbabwe at the Cricket World Cup qualifiers recently as last year, was actually in the squad against Canada, I think, earlier in the year too. But they'll be able to make the case, well, hold on. We've lost 2, we didn't want to lose 2 at home. Both those defeats were to Scotland, who are the best sides in the associate world without doubt. Jesse Singh a really good over, just 1 run from it. He's still not moving. The USA support staff, even the CEO, will be able to say, well, look, we're top of the table in ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2. They would be top of the table on points difference, as that there shows the challenge for Nepal with the runworm. We've got to a Super 8 this year. Our women are doing great things down in Zimbabwe. There's a lot to still be positive about in the American cricket landscape, particularly with the success of the second season of Major League Cricket. Allied to all of that, and minor league cricket continuing to go from strength to strength too.
Yeah, you're seeing just the development of cricket in the U.S., not just in the men's game, but in the women's game. Chetna Reddy Pokekdiala, a 16-year-old, on debut opening ODI cricket against Zimbabwe, scores 136. So you're seeing these things start to happen more and more. With Koshivasa, another one of those stories, Sanjay Krishnamurti, things moving in the right direction. And a win here would go a long way to stamp home what's been a very good year for USA cricket as a whole. You mentioned the Super 8s, Major League Cricket was a success, minor league cricket still doing its role in building up domestic talent. So the win here is very important to stamp home a very good year in United States cricket.
Yeah, at the same time for Nepal, it's a massive game in terms of not wanting to be possibly staring down going to the end of 2024 with just 2 wins from 12. I know they've got Monday to come. If that's rained out, a chance to pick up another win over Scotland, do you? Great diving stop from Kenji Gate. He's one of USA's best fielders. They're scrapping hard here. We didn't even mention the Under-19 World Cup, did we?
Yeah.
I know that was in January. It feels like a lifetime ago. That's how much cricket there is, as Singh gets a bit more treatment. That was the first men's Under-19 World Cup in 14 years, and the women were at the inaugural Under-19 Women's World Cup last year, and I think they're going back again in January. So, yeah, there is so much potential. There always has been in America. As always, it's a case of, I suppose, harnessing that potential. Something's got to give here. 4 dots to Mala. Kenji Gate is bowling so cleverly, keeping it out of his hitting arc. There's either a wicket or a boundary coming from one of these 2 balls, you suspect. A single.
I reckon Mala's got to use his feet and just create a little bit of width for himself, a little bit of time to play over backward point. The fielder's inside the ring on the offside for him, or backward point. Third man is Peter Della Penna, snapping all the photos all around the ground. What a stalwart he's been, and there's some more USA Cricket fans. That man in the gray was pumped up off the catch that Jesse Singh took, so lighting up the American faithful that are still in the audience.
USA corner down there. 3 American fans amongst a sea of Nepal ones. That's why the crowd is so quiet right now, because nothing's going right for Nepal. Paudel gives himself some room. There is some turn on offer. He's yet to get off the mark. 29 bowled, 108 for 3. This task gets ever taller. The required run rate continues to escalate. Just confirmation for that stat I thought we were about to hit in the first innings. For Nepal in ODI cricket, goes past the 2 for 85 that Sampal Kami took against Pakistan. First time they'd ever played them in an ODI in Multan. You do wonder, just press the wrong button there, hopefully we'll get the right scorecard up now. Just want to get a quick look at the Nepal batters to come. You do wonder what order these remaining batters are going to come in. Will it be Dipender Singh Arya next, or will it be Arif Sheikh, who's the player of the match 4 days ago? Or could it be Gulshan Jah promoted up the order, particularly if it's the left-hander that gets out? Thoughts building up, pressure building up, something has got to give.
I reckon you have to take Jesse Singh on. I think at some point you can't just let Jesse Singh go here and bowl 3 quiet overs while he's not 100%. You can still see there's just shuffling that shoulder around, trying to loosen up his side. He's not running in full head of steam. He's not finishing through the crease like he was earlier in his spell. So you have to take him on. And I reckon Arif Sheikh is the man, really regardless of the situation in which a batter gets out. Just because he's been in such good nick, very positive, and he's able to score at least the singles and doubles rather quickly, and he used his feet quite nicely to every bowler when he won that player of the match award. So for me, I think Arif Sheikh would be the man I'd send in if a wicket were to fall. For Kushramala, though, you've been in the crease, 35 deliveries. Jesse Singh's the man you have to attack. You can't let him go quietly.
Particularly with that side strain he has, get after him. Too many dots, the angle causing problems for Mala. Big shout out to Phil Melke, who's watching on. As always, one of the USA super fans. Well, I described Texas as Big Sky Country. I didn't mean literally. I know that that's the official motto of the US state of Montana. Now you're only pulling my leg. The thing I didn't know is that the official state motto of Texas is friendship.
It is friendship, yeah. That is something we learned in US history.
I know that. I like that.
Quite simple.
You would describe the state pretty well from all the interactions I've had since I've been here.
It's been very friendly
Everyone. No matter which side of the ever-growing political divide, as we sit on the precipice of, well, maybe the most important American election in the history of the country in, what is it, 4 days time on Tuesday. But yeah, wherever you sit, red or blue, I think Joe Biden has been using it the most. But whoever
Said it first, there are no red states, there are no blue states. We are the United States of America. That's certainly very apt here with all the hospitality and friendliness we have been shown.
So friendship is the motto of the state of Texas. And there's great friendship between these two sides, but
There's also great will to win. Nepal in big trouble. And they're going to take on a single that would have seen Kushal Malla run out by a mile. It was panic really, wasn't it? The pressure had been built up by the dots. Patel did the fielding. He did it well with one hand, but the throw was well wide of the 1.5 stumps he had taken at.
Kuchamala had to look back at Rohit Paudel, but Rohit did the right thing. He was telling him no, and Kuchamala was just adamant straight away. And even if he was to go full head of steam, he was never making it over there. Manu Patel misses out. It's just pressure building up on Kuchamala. It's getting into his head. He's looking to find runs, and he's not able to play his normal, natural, free-flowing game.
And they bowled well to him. They've taken it out of his hitting arc. He hits full deliveries and he murders them, but he isn't able right now to find a way against anything back of a length or on a good length. He's piling the pressure onto Rohit Paudel, who's yet to get off the mark as well. Credit to Jesse Singh. Remember, he was flayed around the ground for a really expensive spell. He's battling through the pain barrier. Got to respect what he's doing here, no doubt about that. And I think Manik Patel's trying to just get through his overs whilst the going is good. Could Patel have maybe picked that up and John T. Rhodes it Supermaned onto the stumps?
I reckon a fully healthy Jesse Singh might have been able to get over there.
Manik Patel though, could he
Manik
not
Patel.
have got the dive in? Too far away maybe.
I reckon he's just trying to get there so quickly. I think because he saw Mala take off straight away, he's gone for the throw. I think had he seen him pull up, he might have just opted to try to get there directly. Would have been close either. Would have probably been gone in either front.
Patel will get off the mark with a very well judged single. There's so much work to be due still for Nepal. 30 bowled, 110 for 3. Jesse Singh continues to look in agony. Look at some of the wickets we've seen. This was the first one. Jesse Singh just finding a way through Asif Sheikh's stroke and a big celebration. And Harmeet Singh also castling the stumps before the third dismissal, which we don't have here, which was Anil Saz, which was a very tame one. Nepal are right up against it here. They're just finding no fluency at all.
Yeah, and again, at some point, you have to look to score runs. The required run rate is just getting out of hand. It's up towards 9 now. You're only striking at under 4, and you've allowed Jesse Singh to really get away from you. I look at the couple overs bowled with Gurshivasva, 3 for 8 for a 17-year-old who's bowling for the first time in international cricket. You've allowed him to just, the off spinner, to come in and just go about his work. Yes, he was very consistent, but you couldn't let him just give up 8 runs in 3 overs. Jesse Singh, since he's come back, has been very inexpensive. You haven't taken the attack to any bowler in particular. We thought it was going to be Kenjige, and that's gone as well.
Big appeal and given. And Kenjige gets the big wicket. It's that of Rohit Paudel. Paudel took a long time to get off the mark. He couldn't get strike. And now
Don't score against the bowlers you're supposed to score against, then you're forced to score against the best bowlers. This is Goshamala struggling to get off Jesse Singh, and that's built the pressure that's caused that moment where you saw Nash Kenjige get Rohit Paudel. Paudel, he's looking to just try to invent some sort of stroke. He's on 1 run, he's played 8 deliveries. He's just missed it through and through. It's probably hit right on off stump and sliding on to middle. It's a very good decision on first glance, and Nash Kenjige, he takes the reward of that pressure.
Mr. Warren really is given nothing unless he's been absolutely certain. And the finger went up quickly too. Have a look at it here. Probably actually hit the back shoulder as much as anything, isn't it? The question's going to be on height here, isn't it? It's impacted in line, certainly. I know he's a long way down. It's a strange one. If you're wondering about the law, you can be leg before we cut off any part of your body, barring the gloves and the wristband of those gloves, and the bat, of course. So the glove is the only part of your body you can't be LBW off. You could even, in theory, be hitting the helmet in front of the stumps if you ducked into a slower ball or something. Arif Sheikh, it's going to be in at number 6, the Iceman. He's got an awful lot on his plate this time. Played so positively the other day. Gets off the mark immediately. Finger went up straight away. We'll see it again after this delivery. I agree with you in terms of the line. The question used to be bounced on the side on camera, so that's not going to necessarily be able to demonstrate very well. It has probably hit him up on the back shoulder, is it? Oh no, put a look there. He's going to single down the ground. It's not tall either, it's Paudel. What's this hit? Let's get a look. It's the shoulder. So the question is that bouncy enough to go over the top? I think it's definitely going to be okay on line. The finger went up very quickly.
The big thing is he was reaching all the way down. You could see over half the stump on the way up. reckon it's probably going enough just to hit the top of, probably off the middle stump, I reckon.
Shoulder before wicket.
First rare time for everything there.
I don't think I've seen one of those before. Watched so much cricket though, I may have missed one. SBW.
Yeah, write that in there. Scores wherever you are. Write it in there. SVW.
It's the arm ball down the leg side, tickled away for a single. But yeah, just in case you're wondering, particularly if you're a Nepal fan, well, hold on, that can't be out. It didn't hit his leg. It doesn't have to hit the leg. You can actually, you could be LBW off your forearm. For example, I've seen that happen before. So the naming of the leg before wicket is a little bit or the course. So it's a wicket from the over and 4 runs. USA, they are tightening their grasp on this game. They are very much looking good to close out what would be a series-ending win for them.
At the end of the 31st, it's 114 for 4. Shrivastava will return to the attack.
And again, you have to take advantage of what Coach Ross like there.
He's bowled very well, and he's on the basics right. He's done the Gushamala rule, really. Go hit one spot. Just hit that spot and let the batters do what they may. You're Gushamala, you're in 40 deliveries. Yes, it is the ball that's spin away from you. You have to find a way to score against it. Whether that's using your feet to get to the pitch of the ball, moving across your stumps to access spine leg. Whatever you have to do, you have to find a way to score runs because this required run rate is starting to really climb.
Very quickly going to become 10 and over if they don't change something soon. Barely played a shot in anger, is he, Mala? Can't think of a single. He's taken apart that foot shot for 4. Whereas I think that was his own boundary as well. This is a guy who strikes at over 90 in ODI cricket career-wise. 1 point less than a year ago. He struck at about 70 T20 cricket.
That's how the game works now. You get assessed, you're analysed almost to death by the opposition. So they see where your strengths are. Your sweep comes out straight to the man. So if they know your strengths, the opposition refuse to bowl to them. You've got to evolve your game and find other ways to score. If you think of how good he is to full deliveries, Mala needs to find a way to score not from really short ones but from length deliveries. Whether it's to give himself some room, whether it's to target another part of the ground. There hasn't even really been any shots in anger from him. Now that's a shot of authority all the way for 6. Much more like it. And it's Arif Sheikh, whose career strike rate's the polar opposite, in the high 50s, early 60s, who's saying, we've got to start getting moving here. I'm full of confidence, and I'll get off to my first boundary of the maximum.
And again, it's good intent. Use of the feet. It's what he did against Scotland to get player of the match.
He's the first batter we've seen to use his feet to the spinners. There is zero risk to this shot because it's an off spinner. He's not really turning it much.
Bowling the ball into it. There's zero risk in terms of using your feet. Of course, he's got to get enough elevation if you're going to take the area over the wicket. He's probably actually trying to go a bit straighter. He's dragged it a bit. He still has enough muscle to get it over the rope. Defensive shot from Mala. Do you think Mala should go at him here and say, I'll go inside out over extra? I'll make it 2 boundaries in the over. Get rid of Shrivastava from the attack. Temple will be signalled. I'm not ready. There might have been a word from Jahangir. He apologises.
Gushamala's got to pick it up here. Again, whether that's to go over cow corner, long on, if you get it away from him, you got 4. But even that's full. That's full enough for him to be able to slog sweep. He plays that shot so beautifully, he'd go over extra cover. But he's just instead played 1. Yes, you get 9 because of the shake 6, but you could have had
Too bold. It's very very nearly the perfect score for a cricket commentator. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. Just missing the 5th wicket. It's what we always look out for in the commentary box here. So you can say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's very cool. Calling the over, Nosh Kenjige. Continue, he's into his 8th. I do wonder when Mallet is going to start going at Kenjige. It's been a very subdued innings. Every shot is a check down shot, isn't it? More of any aggression or intent. That's what I'm saying. I know we can get 10 and over off the last 14. We're perplexed there. Behind by 44 on Stern. Looking in all sorts of trouble. Larry Sheikh might just be the man to start to get things moving. He's going at everything. You can see it's very different. I know he's only been in there 7 balls.
Yeah, and again, it's about the intent that you're seeing on display. Sheikh is trying to push for runs. While we've seen from Kushamala, he's willing to just let the game go by.
That's a great shot. He's not going to get 4, but could be. It's a mix-up. It's a real mix-up. Mala's going to have to go back here. And he does get back. Oh dear. Well, that kind of shows the headspace that Kushal Mala's in. Complete miscommunication. Harry Sheikh was a bit slow to turn. There probably was 2 if they both went immediately. They almost ended up at the same end.
And probably 2 on offer if you're off quick, because of the fact that Mala had to move well out to his left. You see that par score there, 169. They're well below that. Kushamala on strike now. The keys are, again, what is your intent to score? You can score 10 and over for the last stroke. We've seen Scotland do it, but it was a different surface. The surface is now 3 innings older. I don't know. I don't think it's going to hold up in that same facet where the slower balls are going to come on to the bat nicely.
Finally, a bit of aggression from Mala. It's a dot. He's just trying to give it his all. And it's taking 45 balls for some real intent from Mala. Yeah, I agree that the surface is going to die in the last period of this game. Fans are just trying to rouse Nepal, aren't they? Giving them a big cheer. Put down. It's almost as though Kenjige didn't see it. Mala, 2 balls in a row, has played an aggressive stroke. Arif Sheikh comes down for a word. He will have been hit with power. Drawn the blood out of Kenjige. It's going to be a great angle.
Yeah, Kenjige didn't see it at all, and it's come off the hand straight up onto what looks like the jaw, the right jaw of Kenjige. You could see his head straight away turn towards mid-wicket, and then at the very last instance saw it come. It's a big moment. Given a life on 23, looks like Kenjige's okay, which is important. Give Kushamala a life, you could grow to regret it.
Just wonder, is that going to maybe jolt Kushamala into something? Play with freedom. He's got
Little battle scar.
Battle scar. I want to get told that's a good you've heard in the sport. That's it. Might have to go off here actually just to get that patched up. Russell Warren saying, can't have blood on the pitch here, you're going to have to go off. That might take him out of the next over. Sort of force a change. Maybe to the physio. Is a subfielder going to come on? Because that would take Kenjige out of the attack most likely. Gone off, and on comes Yasser Mohammed to deep cover. Shadi Van Schalkwijk's only bowled 3 overs so far. They need to get him back into action. Well, I don't know where to go for Nepal from here. It's been a perplexing chase in so many ways.
Yeah, they haven't timed it well. Again, you can not taking advantage of bad deliveries. And now the run rate's way up on a surface that's dying out. Runs will be hard to come by in the last 10. You had to do work early.
Good fluent drive from Harry Sheikh, who just come to the crease with intent.
We haven't seen any intent from the non-strikers end. Aaron's been given a life. Would you like him just to really throw caution to the wind and start to have a go at everything? There's still matters to come.
Have a go. He doesn't need to go and play rash shots. Doesn't need to force it, but play through covers. Go play over the top of point. If it's full, look to hit it down the ground. You've seen him almost just be content with tucking it away for one. That's not going to cut it down.
Quick single, throw well wide. Stops all of a sudden, just from a couple of hits in intent. There's a bit of pressure back into this. Just a 2 and a 1. Nothing's really changed in the game. USA still miles ahead of him. Getting the fans into him. Mala, you feel like someone needs to shake him and get him into action. Say, we know how good you are. Come on, it's time for you to show it.
Look at the fans there. Look at the little fan in attendance. He's not facing it right now. He's too nervous to watch. But that's what RF Sheikh does. Again, he came in against Scotland game, scored a half century through intent, got the game back, and you can see this found a little bit of rhythm, put pressure back on Scotland. He seems to be doing something similar to the USA. Now can Mala capitalize? The fans are behind him. RF Sheikh is behind him. He just has to get some runs behind him.
No time. He's trying to get there. That shot makes it clever here, isn't it? He's going to mix up those long plays. The momentum colours again. So the last 10. Take away that final over there. Retirement save that gave that real boost to USA. Between 40 and 45. They only put on 64. So it's not easy in the last 10. The wicket is wary. LEAGU2 here. You should get it pretty easily. Perfectly weighted. So try to work backwards here. I say you're going to struggle to get 100 off the last 10. You've got to go now, don't you?
You have to. If you're going to struggle at 100 off the last 10, you need 154. You get a little touch under 154 now, but you have a long ways to go in this chase, and it's only going to get tougher because Nether Volker is going to come in and bowl cutters. Same with Van Skalkvik.
Finally, it's the free flow of the arms that Nepal fans
Know and love. It's vintage Kushal Mala. I don't want to say back to his best because he hasn't even shown a semblance of that in this innings. He's been given a life.
Could the USA come to rue it? It's a good piece of clever targeting cricket. Mid off up in the circle, over his head, 6 on the way.
It's the width he's been given. Van Skalkvik looks to go pace off, but with that width, on that length, Gushamala has the license and the freedom to free the hands. Brilliant batting for Mala. Has to do more of that.
Yeah, he's going to get 2 more, and all of a sudden, they've got a big over. Listen to the noise around this place. You'd think it's close to capacity. We've only got 700 or 800 in. They're loving every second. The chase is on. As we get to the second drinks break. We'll have a break here to the commentary box. Where it goes either. Don't go anywhere too far. It's 138.
Well, what a game we have on our hands here. Thank you guys for sticking around and joining us in this ICC Men's Cricket World Cup League 2. This match between USA and Nepal. It's all to play for here in the last 16 overs. 144 required from the final 16. Nepal is starting to come to life. They're starting to show that little bit of sign. Kushamala finding a 6. Sheikh is coming to play with great positive intent. USA right now for the first time in a while scrambling for options. Saurav Netravalkar to come back in for his 6th over. That one's hit away. Fielder has work to do. It's Sanjay Krishnamurthy out in the deep. Kept back for 2 comfortably in the end. Good running. This is a big moment in the game for the USA. They bring back the strike bowler in Netravalkar. One of has just gone over to say to Saurav is you don't really need to go full outside the off stump towards the wide line. I think what's the better option is to play on the length. You can see the running here from Asif Sheikh. He wanted 2 straight away.
I think that the Valkyrie's better off on a length, bowling the cutters, slowing it down. Picked up, pulled away, and that's the biggest of the day. Where has this come from? Arif Sheikh, he hit a 50 in the match against Scotland, and he's picked up where he's left off. That's brilliant. And I don't think there's much wrong there from Netravalkar. The Nepal fans love it. It's a cutter on a length. And Arif Sheikh has just sat in his crease, picked it up, and dispatched it for 6.
What is this we're witnessing? Arif Sheikh 2.0, is it? Never really had the notoriety or ability to clear the ropes with real ease. He's been known as an accumulator. A guy who's very good in clutch, difficult situations. But all of a sudden, this game has just changed again. What a shot. Mighty strike from Arif Sheikh. And he's gone. Fuller and a great catch by Nosh Kenjige at backward point. It flew to him, it went so quickly. 6 and out for Arif Sheikh. His little cameo comes to an end.
Can't fault the intent, but how many times has Nosh Kenjige done this for the USA? Pulled together a pretty fantastic catch. Again, clever piece of bowling. He went slower, wider, and that was just flashed away. But Kenjige's gone upstairs. It's almost looked like what Garrett Wilson did on Thursday Night Football for the New York Jets. And it's always rising on him. He's done quite well to get upstairs. Very quick delivery, and look how much it means to him. You can see the big celebration come out. The USA knew this was the danger man. 6 and out. Have Nepal let this game slip away yet again. 21 off 13. A nice little cameo. Now, they have to find runs from somewhere else to Nepal.
Arif Sheikh. Very short, very sweet, isn't it? 21 off 13. Here comes Dipendra Singh Ari. Well, we were totally bemused by his lack of use with the ball. Wearing wicket, 2 left-handers at the crease. He somehow only bowled 1 over in the whole innings.
He'll come in, number 45 on his back. They'll need at least that many runs to give Nepal any chance here. Man, we've spoken a few times about the memes that go
in and around the huge fanaticism that attracts this Nepal national team. Got a great nickname, the Cardiac Kids, which I think sums them up beautifully. And that meme with the graph of the "we are back" or "we are so back" at the very peaks of it to "we are gone" or "what's going on."
It's never been more over.
Never been more over at the bottom. Where are they on that graph? It seems to have been pulsating up and down again through this entire contest.
Really, to the last 2 balls, the wicket of the 6th, it's never been more back. Now we're so gone. There's never been more over.
It's a roller coaster of emotions, isn't it? As again, it goes to the backward point fielder. Kenjige does well. change of bowling from Manik Patel, getting Netravalkar back in. Former captain. And as we so often see, a wicket just stems the runs. 3 dots. 15 remain, 146 for 5. Nepal are only just past the half. A little cameo from Gulshan Jah to come. It's 146 for 5. And if you just look at the runworm here, it's starting to trend in the right direction, but they've got so much work to do still, Nepal.
Yeah, they do. Again, you just see that late flurry up towards that USA dark blue line, but big problem is the wickets that have fallen. USA lost wickets towards the tail end. They held wickets together in hand, similar to what Scotland did just 48 hours ago. All have lost wickets in consistent intervals leading into the last 15. So now you have to score. A lot of it will rest on Guatemala, but not only do you have to score, you have to find a way to keep your wickets in hand.
Really, the only bowler who's been costly has been Shadi van Schalkwijk, who's in the attack here. Kushal Mala can't afford another lull. He's really got to start going at it. He's been out there for over 52 balls, but he's probably been out there for well over an hour.
And what he's going to get is back of a length or on a length deliveries. USA aren't going to pitch it up to him, so he's got to find a way to innovate himself into run scoring opportunities, whether that's to attack Van Schalkwijk with his feet or sit in the crease.
Great lengths again. All these dots are a byproduct of clever bowling in terms of plans from the American side, but also then clever execution. It wasn't as though Nepal didn't know where to bowl to USA, but just they couldn't actually execute that, it seemed like to them.
Yeah, it's half and half, right? The planning's got to be right on, but if you don't execute the plan, your plans will never work, and that's what Nepal have experienced throughout the ODI leg of this tour. They just haven't been consistently able to execute.
Bit of width on offer, slashed straight to the man and taken. Sanjay Krishnamurthy holds on, maybe not the greatest delivery, but all Kushal Mala could do was pick out the man in the deep, and Nepal slide further. They've lost 2 and 2 overs. Well, that could be that for Nepal. USA likely to hold the wood over them yet again as Sanjay Krishnamurthy takes a very good catch.
Quick on his feet there, Krishnamurthy. He had a little width from Van Schalkwijk, but the key thing was the length there. He kept the length back so Mala couldn't step onto the front foot and just hit through the line. He had to work on the back foot and try to power it through cover. Well, he has so much power, he just hasn't been able to manufacture it whilst on the back foot. That time, all he could do was just slice it straight up. Didn't get any middle on it. Krishnamurthy's done well getting to the ball, getting underneath it, and keeping his hands underneath it. That's the big catch. Already given a life, Guatemala couldn't capitalize, and the USA, they see the finish line now.
Probably go as far as to say this is the last chance. Just the 1-4 and the 1-6 for Kushal Mala. He had that life dropped off his own bowling by Nosh Kenjige. He's gone for 33. Strange old innings, wasn't it? 2 new men at the crease, both on 0. Both very accomplished. The problem is, that's probably a bit like what we've seen in that Mala innings. This pitch is just starting to die, isn't it? It's the 6th innings on it. It's starting to fade away. USA have bowled cleverly on it. They've exploited the lack of pace. There's still 4 overs of Harmeet Singh to come as well. Manik Patel has cleverly kept those up his sleeve. And everything is going USA's way now. Think of the problems that USA had at death against Scotland because of the 6th bowler being used, because of the way in which Manik Patel has retained his bowlers today. He's not going to have those issues, so it's not even like there's a kind of weak Achilles heel to come here for the home side. And really, they just need to play an air of decent cricket here. This game will be all but over.
Every bowling option is overs left. Kenjige and Harmeet Singh got 6 across them. You got 5 from Van Schalkwijk after this. The overthrow won't cost them any runs. You still have 4 from Van Schalkwijk, 3 from Jesse Singh. So Manik Patel's actually managed his bowlers quite brilliantly today. to give him every option, whether he wants to go spin, if that's off spin, or the away spin from the right-hander, or if he wants to go pace, if it's Jesse Singh's your side of pace, if he's healthy enough to bowl, whether it's the left arm seam or whether it's the cutters of Venchkovic. He's got every option in the book. And so for Nepal, they have to be able to identify which bowlers are we going to attack. He has everyone he can go to. We have to be able to pick up two of the lot that we're going to go and be able to find 10 runs in overall.
Whatever happens from here is Venchkovic. It's a great over, just the one run from it, and the wicket. Big wicket of Kushal Mala. 147 for 6. Whatever happens from here for Nepal. Jesse Singh clean up, has some shake. And then Kushal Patel looking for the sweep shot, not getting protected line. Harmeet Singh pumped up. That was probably the one that was, was it the softest of them? The giveaway from Anil Shah.
Yeah, you have to reckon, and then Bottle, just the pressure building between him and Kushal Mala, unable to find many runs. This one, just as Arshik started to get going, Ash Kinjigay plucks that one out of the air, and then all that pressure building on Mala just holes out, trying to take the next step, trying to take to the next level.
Harmeet Singh returns to the attack. I'm not sure they're going to get too many runs off him. But yeah, the natural inclination of Nepal fans will be to look at the batting performance and say, oh, that's where things have gone wrong. But the reality is that they've lost this game in the first innings. Okay, they should have batted better, yes. It's been a disciplined bowling performance on a wearing wicket. And Nepal historically haven't had huge success in chasing down large totals. Chased down 287 twice in their history. Once was against Namibia. The other time was against Canada earlier this year. And one against Canada was a bit easier with Rohit Paudel making an excellent 87. Apart from that, the other times they've faced with big chases, they tended to struggle. They did chase down 275 against Namibia too. It's on a very good surface at the Team International Cricket Ground in Kathmandu. But overall, they've only posted more than 275 times in second innings in their history. 2 of those have been for defeats. So once the total went past 250 on a wearing wicket, it was always going to be a tough chase. That's clipped away. Outfield's pretty quick. Netravalkar will have work to do. Does enough. They might think of 3 here. Look at how quick defender Singari is. He's walked the 3rd.
Compare that to Gustin Jha, who's all out sprinting, trying to get to the last strikers. And
I think Irene might have quite fancied running 4 there.
I think Gustin Jha would have said, you can run 8 yourself, but I'm not moving off the 3rd.
It is hard for us to get across sometimes, because we're seeing the pictures you're seeing at home, and keep an eye out the window then live. It's hard to, it's a bit like that catch you took. Again, you only seen all of it on your screens at home. Just the speed of everything he does, it's almost blinding. 37 bowled, 54 for 6. But I think in the post-mortem of this match, should Nepal go up short, it looks like they're going to. I don't think... So many internationals for Nepal over the last 6 years, and even the games I haven't commentated on, I've watched every ball on. I can't remember the bowling this morning.
No, and again, it was in dream bowling conditions. That's the key thing. You're in dream bowling conditions. You have win the toss. You choose to bowl. USA know they're going to be tough. You can see the way the openers came out to play, almost test match-esque. And then you just let them off the hook, sliding down the leg side, wide towards the off stump, short balls. Just everything was sporadic. And you compare that to the USA, who've been so consistent. Now this is something that Nepal will always say, yeah, we've done a great job, and it's much to the disappointment of Morning Patel, who just had to flick the ball up because Depender Singh Irie has made that a comfortable 2.
How is Irie got 2 there? they were wondering whether they get a single because it's only just evaded the bowler. He's been that quick that brilliant to watch. Whatever happens, as always. Also, look, it's a big chance. It's a very tough chance for Irie because he's going to put the team first to try and get these 126 and the best part of 10 runs per over now that are required. It's a chance for him to improve upon that ODI batting number. Good length again. Only averaging 17-18 in this format. We know he's got the power and the brilliance from the T20 game. And this is something of a T20 scenario. Kind of got to get 10 and over right from the off. Now to do it for 4 or 5 overs, which is kind of his role in the T20 team, it's a lot easier than doing it for 13 overs plus. If he could pull it off, maybe. Just silence a few of those messages we received about why he's in the ODI team.
Again, I think numbers are interesting. They don't tell complete stories. Again, you'll sit there and look at the scorecard and say Sandeep Lamachani had one heck of a day. 2 wickets he took. You say it's very economical with just the 48 runs he gave up. Watch the way he bowled and you say, could have been better. Should have been better. Was rather inconsistent for his standards. Should have been really at 28 runs. Cut that in half. So those numbers, they have a funny way of lying to you. If you don't get the context of what's happening within the game, those numbers are hard to trust.
Good Yorker. Good skills from Manchgalkveit. Length now Yorker. That's it. I suppose it just looks to me to be a much better clarity and then execution of bowling plans for USA. League apart. And often when you think of a Nepal performance or defeats, you often think of a batting failure. I just don't think today is a day to talk about how the batters have come up short. It's very much the bowlers, and then even a couple of costly moments in the field and a sad drop. Towards the end was quite costly. 5 balls bowled, only 3 from the over, and need 10.
I get you have 2 new bats in the middle, but you've gotta start finding ways to just get one. I thought there's again, it speaks to the discipline of USA. Absolutely, they've been very good about being on a length, but I just felt that Nepal didn't take advantage of every loose delivery that came about.
You compare that again to the USA innings. Nepal didn't get away with anything. Everything that was short, everything that was down the leg side, everything that was wide outside the off stump was put away to the boundary. They made Nepal pay for every single loose delivery, versus even when the ball's been slightly too full, it's just been hit to the fielder.
A little bit of shape away as late as the 38th over. Nepal fans are desperate for something to cheer. They're not going to get to say the least. It's 157 for 6.
It was good bowling right outside the off stump on a length, a little bit of seam. And you mentioned the clarity in which the USA have come about this innings. I really do think about Monin Patel when he said at the toss. He said, you saw him, he lost the toss, he had a smile on his face.
That almost wry smile. He was walking away knowing that he wanted to bowl first.
He had that conversation with you saying, look, this is going to be the 3rd consecutive game on it. It's going to wear a little bit. You could take advantage of this in the second innings. They saw it starting to break a little bit towards the back half of their first stage. They said, okay, we have an opportunity here. If we start out well, nice and tight, we can then go about just being on a length and letting the wicket assist us.
He's got 3 left, including this one. Since they'll back themselves into a corner here, they need snookers to use an analogy. Another sport, there's no sign of boundaries coming with any consistency. Required run rate spiralling. It'll be up to 2 runs per ball needed pretty quickly, you would suggest. This one's slashed away. Metro well positioned to
game start to slip away. And this will just be a real heartbreaking loss for Nepal. Again, they were positioned in a way to absolutely take this game by storm. Again, the Cutter KC injury is unfortunate early on, but outside of that, there's no consistency with the ball. And then with the bat in hand, you thought, okay, they're kind of in the game after that first session. You're 72 for 1. Into the 16th over, you feel like, okay, you're in the game, you've got an opportunity here. And then you just felt that they went into a shell after 2 or 3 wickets fell.
Great hand from Harmeet Singh. Fielded well too. Big credit to USA. We thought there'd be another gulf, didn't we, in terms of maybe 15, 20, 30 runs between the two teams. But USA are matching Nepal. If anything, they fielded them right now. On the dot, 2 runs from the 39th. More to come. This game, well, it's drifting away ever so quickly.
You can see the Bender Singh Ghauri just having a word with Gulshan Jha. It might just be to get it out of this over, but the heroics have to come soon. It was a really good move from Monik Patel. These 2 overs of Harmeet Singh are big.
Not the right line. Being honest, Gulshan Jha should have put this away, but doesn't get anything like enough of it. Another pick up 2. It's 4 from the 39th. And 6-1 for 6. Fresh from a really good tour of Canada, where he was a standout all-round player. USA are just really impressive me. Their discipline and those basics so much.
Coming off a game 48 hours ago, they didn't do those basics well at all. They struggled to hit consistent lengths and consistent lines. They gave freebies away. And the first time in a USA-Nepal game, listening around and on the effects links, you can hear this group of kids huddled there saying USA, USA. It just shows you the shell-shocked nature of the Nepal faithful that have lined up here in Grand Prairie, that have been screaming all day. They're
Out of words for what's happening in the middle.
Nothing's really gone right for Nepal apart from winning the toss. Even that hasn't seemed to help them somehow. Karen Casey injury after just 10 balls. It doesn't help, of course. But they never applied any pressure. And that's going to be bowled. Gulshan Jha looks for the big hit to cross the line of the delivery. The top of middle stumps, a pretty good place to operate. Sarav Netravalkar has a second.
It's clever bowling, seeing that Gulshan Jha is coming to the off stump, looking to hit. So what does Netravalkar do? Throws one outside the off stump and then gets it just to cut in off the surface. So Gulshan Jha just plays all around the ball in the end. He's played the line that he outside the off stump, thinking he's going to be able to access it. Instead, it's just gone on with the arm. It's well bowled from Nether Volker. You can see the fist bump from Shahin Jahangir. They know this is most likely the final nail in the coffin. Just 12 runs for Gulshan Jah, no boundaries to his name. In Nepal, all our hopes walk off with him.
You sense for Nepal, and in some ways this defeat is going to hurt more than the first one against USA in this series. The first one they dominated large periods of that game. Today, they've just never been in the game, have they? Despite winning the toss, couldn't get early wickets. Got a bonus early wicket from Gulshan Jah in that first power play that was a bit of a strange one. They just consistently bowled not only a couple of bad balls every over, but never really applied even a semblance of pressure through any elongated period. They couldn't find an over of even a couple of balls in a row building up pressure. There's so many loose deliveries. Very unlike them, they're usually pretty disciplined as a bowling attack. Sampal Kani comes into the crease at number 9. I think a lot are going to look at the batting today and say, why haven't we shown more intent? It's not Kenjige, it's just dropped a much easier chance than the one that he held off Arif Sheikh. Kami is alive, should have been gone for a second ball duck. Get an overthrow as well.
Don't see this too often. For Kenjige, he's dropped 2 in the field. Just came onto him very quickly, and he couldn't quite believe it. You saw him take a look at the hands, then look up at Sarvan Volker, and then for the ball. He's so exceptional. Backward point, puts his hands up. So that's on me. It doesn't feel like it's going to cost any amount of runs, but shocked to see this out of that man, Notch Kenjige. But yeah, you mentioned that. Most will look to the bats, but it's been about the ball. The other thing about this loss that separates the first loss against the USA, USA won the toss, elected to bowl first on what are better bowling conditions, were able to use that to their advantage. They were in the game. 40th over comes to a close, 165 for 7. Today, you win the toss, you get all the conditions to go your way, and even then,
Not only did you not win the game, you were never in the game. It felt like as soon as Carter KC had to go off,
the USA were ahead the game and never let up.
Yeah, I don't think you can take Karen Casey's injury and say, oh, well, that's why we lost the game today. Yes, he's probably been pick of the bowlers throughout all of the tour of Canada and USA. Across the 12 games, it feels like he's, 15 games if you include Monday's match. I'm gonna get my maths right. It is 15, isn't it? 4 ODIs, 14 20s in Canada.
There you go, there's 8.
Okay. 4 ODIs in due course. Yeah, it is 15. Okay, we're back.
We're so back. We are so back.
But it just feels like he's taking wickets every time he's bowled. I know he hasn't. He's had a couple of wicketless holes in there, but 2 or 3 for every time. Usually pretty economically. Anderson, I really can't seem to get on to strike right now either. You can't just say, oh, well, you know, no Karen KC today. This is edged away. Not enough pace to challenge the rope. He's going to be thinking about 3, but he'll get 4. Will Sampal Kami. Give a bit of credit to the shot. He's opened the face late on that. 4 to the total.
Showing some fight. That's all you can do here for Nepal. Don't want to just go belly up and roll over. Instead, they're just chipping away. They're not going to get to this total unless there's a miraculous innings here from Sampal Kami, which then would make that drop that Kenjige had ever so more important. But you can just see that little bit of effort, that little bit of just showing, hey, have some fight left in us. I think they'll do Nepal faithful well.
A bit too much of that for me as well. I'm not criticising Sampad Kami here because he's really in the team for his bowling, of course. He's a capable batter, but there's been a bit too much dead batting. So the best result there, that's a dot ball. Even when Harmeet Singh bowls a good one, at least try and do that, because Irie's so quick he'll get back for the overthrow as well. At least try and find one. The dot ball counter's been through the roof as we see a lovely glow around the ground now because a bit of sun is just greeting us from the distance. And God, paints the most beautiful picture all of a sudden.
On what was a colourless day, now it's all bright and vibrant out there in the middle.
Tell me the Arlington thing again. What did they say about the Texas Cowboys Stadium?
Well, there's a little retractable roof. When the roof is open and the sun is straight up, there's a nice big rectangle that goes on from the 40-yard line to each 40-yard line. Nice rectangle. And it says, if God watches football, he watches the Cowboys through the roof there. He's shining down on Cowboy football.
Well, maybe the light is proving Russell Warren's leg bicycle possible to see right now. That's the fourth time he signalled it. There we go. Shining the sun down through the heavens. As a little farewell to this series, because I'm not sure about Monday. Forecast looks really, really poor, doesn't it? Forecast for today wasn't great either. We're going to get a full game in. Chalker worked away for a single. Caddy gets to double figures. Finally, the Premier Harry gets back on the strike. Has a place for 3 overs. Dave Agnew, one of his assistant curators. I think he'll be pretty pleased on the whole with today's pitch. Special shout out of thanks to not just Dave Agnew and the Major League team here on the ground, but also the whole USA cricket team hosting these series, particularly for the USA who, well, up until this year, hosted a huge amount of international cricket in quite a while. It always takes a big effort. Everyone here at the venue, since all the Major League team, Justin, Josh, Zubin, Mervyn. All the duration team under Dave Agnew, the head groundsman. And then for Drove and all the USA cricket team, saw the new CEO, Jonathan Atkinson, as well here. Just a big thanks, because everything, certainly from our end, has been exceptional. The welcomes we've had each morning, the infrastructure, it's just world class. The big screen, the floodlights, the PMOA area for the players and match officials, the sports bar and grill for the fans, the concession stands. So yeah, sincere thanks to everyone for helping put this series. I'm saying that now, just in case Monday. It looks almost kind of torrential, doesn't it, on Monday? Might be wrong. Maybe we'll have a good game between Nepal and Scotland. But yeah, sincere thanks from me, from you, Aman, and from the mayor and all our production crew for making this series such a success.
Yeah, it's been brilliant to be here, and every day they're hard at work, whether there's a game or it's an off day. They're always looking for opportunities to improve and do great work, and Dave and his team, they haven't been able to really prepare that third wicket that they wanted to. It's been a long haul with the minor league into the T20s, now into the ODIs. It's the first ever ODIs played at this venue, so it's been a lot of work to get it done. Just a big hearty thank you from everybody here and on the production crew, to everybody who's made this whole thing possible. And a big thank you to everyone who's come out and enjoyed the cricket. I mean, it's been quite brilliant. It's a long day if you do come out to watch some ODI cricket, but they've enjoyed festivities and they've added some life that's desperately needed at some of these sporting events.
Got a bit of David White, of course, as well, from the Major League Cricket team. Vishnu and Hassan here too. Yeah, some questionable music choices for winning points, but
Well, after
he's
day
come
one,
around.
After day one, he
come
listened
around.
to you. He got his way over there.
Wasn't sure where we were going. This game just drifted along, sadly, to an inevitable conclusion for Nepal fans. Manik Patel knows his side have done enough. Just need to hold their nerve. It's 104 to an 48. Boundaries just not coming. 42 bowled, 178 for 7. For Nepal, take a look at this points table. Even though they beat Scotland a couple of days ago, or 4 days ago now, there's not a lot to cheer, is there, in ODI cricket right now?
No, and again, this is coming off a clean sweep of the USA in T20s. They were in red hot form. They had found rhythm at this venue. Right now, they're going to be firmly planted at the bottom too, especially with the other matches of Cricket World Cup League 2 happening over in Oman. They're going to be firmly planted in second place.
That's much more like it. Finally, they get one into the hitting arc, and Dipendra Singh Airi cashes in. And the fan has a moment to remember as our camera soars to the heavens, much like the angle of that shot from Dipendra Singh Airi. Don't rule it out if he can get going. Remember, he's hit 36 in just 1 over before, and that was earlier this year, albeit in a T20. Great shot for 6.
Yeah, great shot indeed. Again, finally got one in the zone. The key is they took advantage of the full delivery in the slot. There's been times where the balls, okay, maybe not quite there in the slot, but just a little bit outside that they could have manufactured, and they just didn't. This is a sign of intent. Dipendra Singh Airi again will take a superhuman effort, but he is superhuman.
You think as Singh drags his length back, Airi wants a second. I've never seen a second run to the 30. The 30-yard circle with a fielder in it, but Airi has a think about it. You think of the entire, what have we seen, over 20 overs of spin, haven't we, because of the overs of the youngster, the 17-year-old. We've seen batters use their feet, once? Now Kami goes over the offside. Another one that was pitched up, so Airi will easily get back for the second. But it's just been, across the innings, a lack of intent. Mala never left his crease once. Never showed us that incredible power and strength that he has down in the ground. And I think some of that's to do with the wicket being a bit tired and a bit difficult. But you'd almost, I think of the way Ireland play their cricket now, they'd rather be bowled out for 150 in this chase in 38 overs than bat the 50 overs and end up with 225, 230. And it's something a bit like Nepal are going to do with the latter. Too many dots, too many dead bat strokes. Now Airi will capitalise upon the misfield from Jesse Singh to get a few ironic cheers from the crowd to pick up 2. Nepal cricket, when it's at its best, it's putting pressure on the opposition. Never really done that today.
Yeah, there was just that lack of intent, and I think to your point, if you're playing one of those World Cups, and run rate might matter to advance is one thing, but you're here needing points. Run rate's not going to do Nepal any good in this league. Do more of this, whether it's errant or not, it's finding a little bit of pressure onto the stage. You can see Harmeet Singh having to push it out wider, pull it back for the first time, instead of where Naj Kinjage was going to bowl short, quick in Tickle Shamal as the 43rd over comes to an end, 191 for 7. As Harmeet Singh's innings will come to an end. His day comes to an end. It's been brilliant. 10 overs, 1 maiden, 46 runs. Just the 1 wicket. You want more than that, but he really put a stem on the flow of runs.
But on a wearing surface, I think Harmeet Singh probably being by far the biggest threat in this attack. For Nepal to get 1 for 46 from the 10 off him, I know the runs are going to come late to his final 3 overs off. Jesse Singh, great credit to Jesse Singh. He's a warrior, he's fought back so hard. For him to go as part of 9 and over in the last game against Scotland, he's only gone at 3 and over today. Kenji to only go at 4 and over. And to allow 4 overs Waqar Shrivastava for just 17. That for me, well, it's some poor game management, isn't it? We spoke about the game management in a different sense in the first clash between these sides, where there was probably 2 or 3 times that Nepal had their foot on the throat of the opposition and never put the game away. Never really got into the game today. Here's Jesse Singh. He's got 3 left. find something rather ludicrous. A friend of mine just recently described him as a human highlight reel. Can he produce another highlight?
And Nepal fans will need it. And to your point about lack of intent, lack of getting at it, Utkar Srivastava wasn't dragging it back, wasn't overly short, was just kind of in a similar area. And Kushal Bartel never used his feet, or Kushamala rather, never used his feet to go at him. Again, I know he's spinning it away, but never used his feet to go at him. If he is able to find a couple boundaries, the task could be done by Deepinder Singh Airi. Now it's almost an impossible task he's faced with.
This is going to be close. Wait for the signal here. Jermaine Lindo. Must have been bad involved. If not, would have been interesting. Maybe the inside edge where Airi will keep his wicket intact.
It sounded like two noises, but you have to give a lot of credit to Jesse Singh. This could have easily been a game where he could have gone all over the place. He's been right here, consistently outside the off stump, angled in. That looked awfully close. I thought there was bat involved. Didn't look like there was anything on that replay. It was given as runs.
It's strange because there wasn't a big appeal either.
No.
From our vantage point. Well, it's very, very close. Very a bit fortunate maybe. Would have been given a free run as well because we didn't see that come off the bat. But he'll take it. Another single. Yeah, great credit to the character of Jesse Singh to be able to bounce back. I think some USA fans would have expected Jimmy Drysdale to come in for him in the starting 11. But instead they stuck with Jesse Singh and he's answered the call in a big way.
Yeah, he has. Again, it's not only that the figures are the figures, but it's the consistency in which he's bowling. Right on the off stump, angled in, and fighting through injury to do it as well, especially coming off that match he had against Scotland.
Great piece of field. Great piece of fielding in the crowd. That'll be four. Well, he's loved that, hasn't he? Can he get them going? One bounce. Straight into his hands. Super bit of work. Airi gets into the 20s. Could have been given out from the last ball he faced. Just never know.
And this is where the lack of runs earlier in the innings comes to bite you. You have the bats in the back end to give you an explosive finish, even on a tired surface. You just have to give yourself a chance. And you look about, it's great work at the field, but you look away, Kushamala played, Bartel almost threw it away, trying to sweep Harmeet Singh. I know Saad could have carried on. Just those little moments, Nepal didn't win yet again.
What I'd love to have seen there is Deepinder Singh a recharge at him. Jesse Singh's not quick enough to worry you too much in terms of, particularly with that sort of side niggle that he has. Charge at him, try and hit him over his head for 6. Just make a statement, say we're still in this chase. Okay, it's 14 runs per over we need. Just try to change it. Change the momentum. It's been a very, very flat performance across both innings from Nepal, and that's off a 4-day break. If this was kind of the second game in 3 days and it had all the emotions of beating Scotland just 48 hours ago, you could kind of understand it. It's really surprised me today, Nepal. Edged away. Edged fine. And edged for 4. Saiteja Mukamala again. Now, we haven't seen him in the field today because he's barely touched the ball. But a really poor drop the other day. 4 or 5 fumbles and misfields that turned 1s into 2s. This time, it's turning 1 into 4. It's only a bit of momentum. It's still not the 13 and over they need, but they get 11 off Singh's 8th. Do they believe the 200's up? It's 202 for 7.
Believe a bit. And again, that's what intent can do. It can just create a little bit of pressure on a fielder who's, oh, I gotta cut off the boundary. And what should have been regulation. All day should have been regulation. Instead, what's happened is it's just ballooned out of his hands. 40 off of 27 this partnership's worth now. And if they can slowly start to build this, that Nepal crowd will get into it, come to life, Deepinder Singh Airi can make some magic happen.
I'll tell you something. If Nepal have a real surge here at the death, and they could. Let's say they get 10 and over off these last 6. And they end up losing by 19 runs, they get 262. Post-mortem in this game, well, it's going to be remarkable. It's not a good effort from Saiteja Mukamala. He batted beautifully earlier. I think something the USA management needs to assess with him, his task, his winter homework, if you will, ahead of January. Go away, We love your batting. You've got to work on your fielding.
He's got to be sharper. And moving swifter to the ball and collecting it when he gets there.
Shadi Van Schalkbeek to bowl possibly the 3 overs at the death from this end. And the ball now follows him. Does better this time. Does feel the pressure, doesn't he? You can see it there. And a look up at the big screen. Knows that he's on it. Probably knows we're talking about him. Here's the equation. 79 off 35. It heavily favours USA. Just need this experience of Van Schalkbeek to close it out. Can Nepal find something? Pretty much been the best partnership with the Indians for them. And it's come for the 8th wicket. This goes a long way up. Doesn't go very far. It's going to fall out of reach of everyone. I don't think Krishnamurthy could have got there. It was just kind of in that no man's land, wasn't it, between the 3 fielders. Deep backward point, deep cover and extra cover. Nobody could get there.
Yeah, again, you know Sumbukami's going to swing. They're going to try to score every boundary they could. There's no real blame to be shifted on to his shoulder out in the field. But this is your matchup. Navinder Singh Hari is going to have to go, to use a baseball term, a yard. They're going to have to go big against Van Schalkbeek in this over.
Full toss. Hammered down the ground. It's Mukamala, who does well. Isn't it funny how the ball follows you just when you've had it? I don't remember him fielding one today. And now he's just fielded 3 and 4 balls. Does much better this time. Credit to him. 2 runs saved.
Yeah, again, it's very similar to what actually happened on the 4. He's had to move well to his left, and he's had to get into position. The key here is he's gotten into position quicker, and he's got the entire body behind the ball. It doesn't go cleanly into his hands, but he's got the extra body protection behind it versus the previous over. It was just his hands pushing at the delivery.
No, he loves the helicopter shot to Zaire, but not able to get the base that he needed to implement. I think it's because he was thinking leg side initially. If he just held his shape from that line, he could have gone over extra. I think he probably would have got 6, but he was already kind of premeditating it into the leg side. Finally, some intent from Nepal. It's really taken us all the way. The 42nd, 43rd, 44th, 45th over now to really have a crack. Ball follows Mukamala again. Does enough. Single.
Again, and you see what the intent has done. It's forced USA to change fields, to bowl different types of deliveries on different lines and different lengths. The bowlers have to think, versus when you're just blocking it around, even if it's a good ball, just manufacture that into one, because that'll just start to frustrate. It build partnerships. It'll frustrate that bowling side, and you'll get gifted runs. You have to show a little bit of intent to create that opportunity.
Cammy gets one in the slot, pumps it down the ground. Not quite going to be 6, but will be 4. Again, it's not the 13 plus they need off the over, but they're just hanging around. Just a little bit in the chase. 9 come from that Van Schalkbeek over. It's 211 for 7. 5 overs remaining.
Take the game deep, they say. It's good awareness from Sumbukami, knowing Van Schalkbeek's gone outside the off stump towards the wide line. He's come out in that direction, deep in the crease, and he just used his hand through the line of the ball. Good work to pick up a boundary at the end. Jesse Singh will come back with the ball, and here's the look at the bowling card right now. They've used the 6 option today, and Jesse Singh's been good up until this point, but you can see Van Schalkbeek's been expensive. He's a bowler they've taken on. Sarabjit Thavalkar's gone for some runs later in the spell. And Jesse Singh, now can they target him? There's still some overs to go of Notch Kunjige if they wanted to use it, but you reckon it is going to be some combination of Van Schalkbeek, of Singh, and of Thavalkar to close out the final 5.
Well, time to have a shot at the dark. Why not? Got nothing to lose here, Nepal. As you said, net run rate's not going to be a factor, certainly not this early in the comp. We've got to take down Jesse Singh here. Find a way to turn this not into a big over, but a daddy over. They're going to get runs. Oh, lovely bonus runs. Watch Irie. He's going to go for 3 here. And the direct hit is going to cost 2. There's no real need to throw that, was it? Not sure who the fielder is. Sushant Madani on as a sub-fielder in the floppy hat. And the direct hit has cost 2 extra runs and 3. Not a bad start to the over for Nepal.
Well, Irie turns down the second. Or sorry, Sumbukami turns down the second. Irie wants it. And right there turns it down. Irie gets back, and then, boom, off to the races. And Irie was able to turn it into 3 runs. Big time to start the over.
Oh, now you can see what he's trying to do. He's trying to go over backward point. Probably the right idea, because Cammy might not have the power to get down the ground for 6. Just can't get anything on it.
Again, this is that into the block hole. And you're just wondering, would it not have been better off just taking the second run? Going for 2 here, not coming back for the third to get Irie on strike to face these deliveries from Jesse Singh.
Just wants to show us how fast he wants to do. So much so that he sprinted the second and then
Jogged.
off into the third. It'd be gasping out of my lungs. Getting back for 3 there. To the block hole. Fumble will allow not just 1, but 2 again. Good running. Do have to wonder where this intent was the entire innings for Nepal. If they batted like this throughout the innings, they might well have chased down this 282. Instead, they need something miraculous from here. 66 to a not 27 the equation. You need a surge here. You need a 666, a 466. 3 balls, 3 boundaries.
And that's where the wickets and the partnerships would really come in handy for Nepal. Could Anil Sastikin, could Bertelstikin, could Mala start to find and churn out runs? They just lost wickets in key intervals, and now the Nepal faithful believe it just feels like there's too much work to be done. A lot of work to do for the bowler.
Great Yorker. It's really well bowled. Now the men in the circle are so deep that every ball is a run. It's mystifying, isn't it, as to where any of this energy and intensity was. What are we talking about the first 42 overs of the chase?
Yeah, you reckon close to that. Again, you can see just how deep everyone is in the circle. That point, that cover, the mid-off, the fine leg, everyone's on the ring.
And it's because there's that much intent to score versus just to put the ball straight down.
And that's spot on. Part of that's the game situation in the field, yes. But the other part of it is the pressure and the energy and the intensity from Irie and Cammy. I just don't know why it's taken 45 overs to come from Nepal. Really good delivery. He misses that block hole. You reckon Irie's getting that for 4 or 6. But he's going on the line in a big way here. Such bravery from Jesse Singh.
Yeah, tough strand of character here from Jesse Singh. And he's bowling quite brilliantly. Again, he's hitting that block hook with such consistency that we haven't seen throughout the ODI portion of this series. He's missed the Yorker on plenty of occasions in the 2 Scotland games they've played. In the Nepal first match where he's tried to go for it, he's missed it. Right now, you can see a little bit of Major League window over there. This Washington Freedom hat, a Texas Super Kings jersey. Not sure what the logo is. That a Dallas Mustangs logo there. So some major and minor league contingents over there. Just seeing if the USA can get over the line.
Big hit. That's going to go all the way. A little flourish again. It just keeps Nepal hanging around. Look at Cammy almost puff out the chest and say, come on, Dependra. It's game on here. We can do this. 13 off the over. Little less than they require. Nepal, well, the cardiac kids are almost being resuscitated back to life. A shock, a jolt from Sampal Cammy. That's a great shot for 6.
And the reason Jesse Singh's missed his line and length there is the use of the feet from Sampal Cammy. He's come and attacked Jesse Singh, so now he's tried to change it, tried to pull it back. In doing so, he strayed down the leg side and just allowed Sampal Cammy to hit with the angle and just time it to perfection for 6 runs.
This is why you never leave a Nepal game. I didn't want to say it on air. I'm not going to name who they were, but I saw 3 fans leave in Nepal shirts when Kushal Mala got out. I saw them walk out for the Grand Prairie. You never leave this team because you never know what's going to happen. They are unpredictable, if nothing else. And it's 58 off 24. USA massive favourites, but you just never know. Can Irie find a kind of monster, a daddy over that would bring this back into the equation? It's got to be 20 plus. They need a 20 plus over, and they need it now, and they need it immediately from Dependra Singh Irie. Can he get 2 here? He wants it, but Mukamala does well. Quicker to the ball this time. Good read on it.
He's played a wide there. Irie, he was gifted that run to the USA, and actually really well done from Mukamala. It's a touch wider. Irie was on strike. Had to move well to his right, and you can just see that urgency in the field.
And you almost sense a little nervous energy from the Nepal fans. They were dead silent. They were dead quiet. And right now, fingers, biting at the nails, biting at the glasses, hands, crossed arms all the way through.
Cammy wants it wide. He's not going to get it because he's just come a bit outside the off stump. There's an old saying, man, it's the hope that kills you in life. And oh, it's agony, isn't it? Supporting Nepal sometimes for these fans. They've had a good day out, whatever happens, but just love to see a win. As soon as you get towards this required run rate, 14, 15, 16, it's not impossible, but it's pretty close to it. You need something extraordinary. Every dot or every single, a complete killer. Edged, and going to be edged away for 4. Very choreographed, isn't it, the plan from Van Schalkwyk? 4 is help, but 6s are really the ones that are needed.
And I don't understand the field with this plan. I don't understand why third man would be inside the ring if you're going to have the plan to be both full outside the off stump. You know Kami's going to take big swipes at the ball. You almost reckon you would dare him to step across his line and hit you over mid-wicket. That's fine, but don't gift these 4 runs over third man.
The fans enjoying the action after a real lull. Need more boundaries, Nepal. Kami is going to provide them 4, followed by 6. Look out in that Chinese lantern display up there. It was right into the slot. Not where you want to bowl, particularly if you're at Van Schalkwyk's pace. They've got 11 off the over. Can they make it 21 with 2 more boundaries? And then who knows? Maybe it is game on. A nice little counter punch here from Sampal Kami.
This is brilliant. Again, he knows it's going to be wide, towards the wide line outside the off stump. He's positioned himself there, and a miss of length, this time from Van Schalkwyk, just guides it into the slot and then guides it away. It's brilliant batting from Sampal Kami.
Just want to show you something here as we come out to have a look at this. Look at the surge. Look at the surge from Nepal. Why is it taking this long to come? That's the question.
And it's the wickets and bunches in the end, and it's the lack of intent. Whether you score runs or not, you can just see the way Kami's using his crease. He's moving laterally to just throw off Van Schalkwyk's line in length. Versus when you see the other batters go out there, and you talk about the Malas, the Bertels, even the Asif Sheikhs at times, you just saw them stay stagnant on the surface.
Yeah, this was into the slot, but it's gone miles into the sky. It should be taken. It's Saiteja Mukamala, and he holds on. And look at the smile on his face. Big, big moment for him. He put down a similar one, didn't he? That was against Scotland. Is that the winning of the game? It was Kami who had all the momentum. He looked for a maximum down the ground to get to 50, and Mukamala holds on to a really good catch.
He's done really well there. I didn't think he was in a great position to take the catch. It was up in the air. He had to run all the way from the boundary rope. And if you put this down, Kami's certainly going on to make 50 and push this total. Again, we spoke a lot about Saiteja Mukamala's fielding rather critically, and probably rightfully so. He'll tell you that himself. But you look at the way he's made up ground here. As the ball's gone straight up, but the way he's taken that with his hands, it was rather brilliantly done here. He's not in the greatest position, but he got it stable enough with the base, watched it all the way in, and he took it sliding down. Monik Patel, dry smile for him as the young man takes the catch of Sampal Kami.
Yeah, superb. Absolutely brilliant from Saiteja Mukamala. A long way away from our position. He deceived me a little bit, the way in which he rolled over and then threw it in. We wondered had it gone down, but the brilliance of that catch, he wasn't just getting to it and holding on, but also rolling over to protect the ball. Sandeep Lamajani to the crease at number 10. He slices one away to get it off the mark immediately, and they should have got the second to get Irie back on strike. But instead, he'll be stranded at the non-striker's end. It's a wicket taking over critically for USA. The last bits of hope for Nepal. Are they all but extinguished? 46 to win off 18. The equation now. Let's get a look at the batting card. You can see here, it's only Karen Casey, the injured Karen Casey, to come. He won't really be able to run, will he? Look at the number of batters who've got in and then got out, Alan.
And you look at everything above Sampokami. I really look at Gushamala, for me, as he had to show a little bit more intent. For Bertel, I thought he played a bad shot against Harmeet Singh. There's no need to try to sweep him. You can stick in and just find your way through. I thought Anasag could have easily carried his innings on. Like, it was really a soft dismissal, wasn't it? Right after he gets 50. There's little moments in the game that Nepal once again didn't win.
Karen Casey does have the pads on, and we know what kind of a character he is. Even if that's a sprained ankle that he's got, he's going to go out there and bat. He just won't be able to run much. Not even bats, he doesn't need to run much because he just bumps it straight down the ground. Lamachani very capable of hitting the big bowler too. He looked through mid-on and through Cape Corner. Exactly where he goes. Irie could have got back for 2 possibly, but I think he wants to strike, so he's happy. It's just a single. Well, Depender Singh Irie, now's your time. It's 45 to win. 17, we know you've got the levers, you've got the gears. Can you show it? You're going to need what? 3 or 4 maximums. Probably in this over.
Yeah, you're going to have to get a big one. And if Nether Volker's come in, it's the right time for him to come in the bowl in the 48th over. He's scheduled to bowl at 48 and 50. If he takes the wicket here, the game's over. Irie needs runs and needs them quickly.
Great bowling. Right into the block out. Best result there is a single for Nepal. Super skills from Netravalkar. He's going to be trusted to bowl 48 and 50. Vanchkalpik will bowl 49. You'd have to say USA dominated this contest pretty much from start to finish. Just have to apply the very final finishing touches. Just hold their nerve.
They've controlled the game all the way through. They've been very consistent with the ball in hand. That's been the big thing. They didn't let anything loose go to Nepal. Nepal can still walk away with an early win.
Should be taken. Harmeet Singh nestles underneath it and holds on. As Netravalkar will see the back of Sandeep Lamachane. The heroics that he showed up in Canada where he made a career best 49. And will bring the last man standing quite literally for Nepal to the crease as Karen KC will come out.
Always had to go for it. There's no other choice. He needed to find a way to either get Depender Singh Irie back on strike or find the rope, and you just felt he was always going to go. Harmeet Singh's done well, looking straight up into the sky with these clouds. Makes it look easy. And now, I reckon there's no more singles in the over. It's either Karan KC, which is going to be a brave effort from him. He was in the field for 2 overs after he got hurt. Had to come straight off, get more treatment. He's going to go big. He's going to have to swing. You have to credit the character of this man.
Yeah, great effort. I think he'll be able to kind of trundle a single, but he's not going to be able to spin. I hope he get many 2s. You're wondering what we're talking about. He rolled his ankle as early as the 3rd over of the game. Actually appealing for LEAGU2, isn't he? And it looked very close. He got out. And he is putting his country first as he always does. It's a big ball down the ground, and I don't think that should be impacted too much. It's his left angle. Ankle is injured. Batting deep in his crease. Not going to get the signal there. See, he's just not moving fluently. He looks in pain, doesn't he? Think of all the heroic efforts coming out to bat when injured. Irie just coming down and saying, okay, if you can get one anywhere here, or is he saying have 2 free swings now?
I think he's just have two free swings. I don't reckon that he's going to get a single away and then Irie's going to get a single away is going to do any good. You're looking for a boundary in the over. If you have any chance going into the last 2.
Edged, put down, 4. That helps. Take everyone they can get here, and then we'll be over to the Depender Singh Irie in the 49th and maybe the 50th. Now Jahangir goes down. Looks to have done himself a nuisance. Didn't go quickly to this, did he? That was a definite chance.
Oh yeah, it looked like he was just lackluster after the edge. Yeah, moved very, very late. Scraper away for 4. 4 runs nonetheless for Nepal. I reckon that the Valkyrie's probably best off trying to push this one well out wide of Karan KC. Keep it out of the arc where Obviously, Casey's not moving quite well.
6 would be a great result here for Nepal. Karen and KC do it. They've decided, just happy with giving Irie the strike. He could have got there for 1, even with the leg injury. It's over to you now, Depender Singh Irie. 40 required from 2 overs. You need to do what you did in Qatar. Find some maximums. 6 in the over would help. 48 bowled. It is 242 for 9. Just one more look at this points table. Aman. Just confirmation that if USA win this contest by whatever margin, we're already above the net run rate of Canada. They will go top of the table.
Yeah, and it'll be a big way for them to close out the year. It's probably been the best year in USA cricket in just terms of the results on the field. They've been very good in the T20 game. The ODI games carry that momentum through. They want to be atop the table headed into 2025, and these wins at the back end, especially after the way this tour started, would do themselves good headed into just a little bit of momentum into January.
Here we go. Irie needs 40 off 12. Again, might have been a wide if he didn't get anything on it. And a couple like that. Josh Kenjige with a little bandage on the chin does the fielding. Make that 40 off 11. North American fans would be delighted. I don't think many would have thought. I know Netherlands could go past both of them with a good tour in Oman, and they may well, but I think many would have thought Canada and USA joined top of the table after nearly a third of the games of the tournament.
Yeah, it's brilliant to be a North American cricket fan. No doubt about it. Canada got off to a very strong start in the league, and they're taking their advantages.
Great skills from Irie. Excuse me, from Manchkanfe to Irie, because he just nailed that guideline twice, isn't he? It's kind of out of the hitting arc. Irie's real strength, because he's a diminutive stature, is in and around his body. Those fast wrists, those fast hands, he's hiding it away from him so cleverly.
And what I reckon Irie's got to do here is take a page out of the Simple Kami playbook. Shuffle outside the off stump, get deep in the crease, and create your own length and create your own hitting arc.
Over the offside. Irie sets off to run the single, then he remembers Karen KC can't run, so it's ... This game is right on the brink now of being closed out. 40 to win off just 9. USA, you cannot help but argue they've deserved this victory.
Yeah, they've been ahead of the game the whole way through. Again, we'll talk a lot about Nepal's inconsistencies with the ball, but USA were good enough to take advantage. They dug in through the hard parts and then just took advantage when it was wide, put it away for 4 short, 4 runs. If it was down the leg side, they found the rope pretty consistently.
Does get one more where he wants it, doesn't get the timing. It is, they just can't run 1s or 2s. KC's stranded at the non-strikers and barely able to stand, let alone run or walk. It's really gingerly, isn't it? You'd suspect, with everything we've seen, that's probably a sprained ankle.
Yeah, you reckon it's something of the sort. It doesn't look like in 48 hours he's going to be able to go on Monday.
It's the helicopter out. Again, can't beat the outfield, so you suspect he'll run a single here, but it's not going to matter. Some chance of USA ring out around the ground. I'm not going to let you get down for the post-match presentation after this over, but just wanted to thank you for all your thoughts. Really good USA win this.
Yeah, it was. Again, clinical. After what this tour has been, they needed something of this performance to show their dominance, and I thought with the ball, they were just consistent, and they built everything to plan.
Aman Patel. Depender Singh Irie. He's not even going to run the single. I'm not sure whether KC is capable of it. And it's a rather disappointed, dejected figure that both of the batters cut as we get to the end of the 49th, 242 for 9. USA will be delighted. They've got the wood over Nepal in this format, particularly after the 3 defeats.
So the last rights is Netravalkar will ball to KC. KC will hammer it away. I'm not even going to run the single now because I just don't think they want to do any damage to Karen KC's ankle. Nepal, it is a second consecutive defeat to USA after 3 T20 wins. USA are going to have the pleasure, the delight of sitting top of the table as they head to their about 2-month break they'll have before heading out to Oman for the next triangular series. This time KC's happy to run the single because he can really sort of just walk it as much as anything. That's just defender Singapore. There's Nosh Kenjigate with the little plaster on his chin. And that blow that he took when he dropped the catch, Kushal Mala. Been a funny old game this one today. Really has hard to understand some of the approach in the chase. Definitely a wicket that's just got a little bit tired, understandably, with its third usage. Defender there really just unable to get anything right out of the screws like he's needed to. You see that there, that ball bowled into the surface by Netravalkar. Just it dies before it gets to the batter, so something that generally, apart from the final over Harmeet Singh got after Bush and Jah, something that Cammy did really well in the third power play. USA have noticed and gone with that as well. They're going to prevail but by a pretty comfortable margin, you have to say as well. There's a few flutters as Cammy made a rapid 46. And as that one is, well, lost ostensibly put down, but probably forward and saved by Sarah Netravalkar. Just 2 balls left. Look at the reaction time here. He would have had a fraction of a second just to put his hand out. Jermaine Lindo might be somewhat thankful for the bowler. As Nepal are going to be left a bit bemused as to what's gone wrong here in today's game. It'll be a wide. Oh, that one again. Smile on the face of Netravalkar, he's been the star. The ball in his hand. Effective as ever. 3 for 46. Bowls 10 overs. Jesse Singh wasn't needed to bowl his full 10, but he battled back very well too. Chikalfake held his nerve at the end. And a bit of a surprise Kenjigate only bowled the 8, but maybe that injury took to his chin. He was off the field for long enough. Didn't want to go back to spin. Another one that's miscued will give Sarah Netravalkar a 4th wicket next to his name and maybe throw him firmly into the picture